Hello, welcome back to Al Talks. Sorry about the delay in this week's episode. Like I said, I've been getting hammered with work and Christmas preparation and all that shit. So I have good news, no bad news this week, other than the new restrictions with limit capacity for indoor events to 50%. So that sucks for comedy venues who really need the money. You know, but what can you do? Hopefully they'll be lifted. I think the 7th and 9th of January. So only a couple of weeks, depending on how this fucking Omicron variant fares. But anyway, enough gloom and doom, as they say. So this week on Monday, I was down in Dublin at Stitch's Comedy Club. It's held in a place called the Workman's Bar, and that night I have their Facebook page here. I'm just going to read the lineup. So the lineup that night was Brian Gallagher was supposed to headline, but he couldn't make it. So Donald Vaughan did the headlining show. And then, so starting off, first person to go on, the host was Iman, who's a Nigerian comic who grew up in Blanchardstown, or Blanches, the locals call it, and he was brilliant. Like, he was a really, really good host. He was, what he was doing his comedy, he was saying, I don't want to do this controversial bit, and I was like, yeah, do it. And then Iman was like, this fucker is trying to get me cancelled. I went down there, nobody knew that I do comedy. So the first person to come on stage was Aidan Green. Now Aidan Green has a stammer, and his comedy is hard enough, and then when you have a speech difficulty, his set was brilliant. And the way his stammer comes and goes, but when he got off stage after the show, I was talking for a bit, and I said, well done. It's not easy doing comedy, and to do it with a stammer, it was even more impressive. So really, really impressed by him. And then later on in the show, they had Anna Clifford, who recently is back from the UK. Another brilliant comic. Her set was really, really funny, and I'll go through all the comics and I'll talk about afterwards, meeting them and stuff. So hopefully now next year she'll come on the podcast and we can discuss more comedy. Who else now? Didn't get talked about. Oh yes, Melinda. Now Melinda is a Sri Lankan comedian who moved to Vienna 7 years ago, and he started a comedy club there called N2O. And then when he moved to Dublin, he started N2O Dublin. Now hopefully next year I'll get to perform there, and we'll see. What else was on? Give me a second. Sorry about this. Just trying to figure this out on my phone. Yeah. The last two comics that were on was Darren O'Toole, who have a story about once I finish ranting about all the comics, because I am a bit rambling at the moment. And now, I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name, as most of us do. Enya Mai, who is a Vietnamese comic. And yeah, so that was the lineup for the entire night. So I'm at, after the show, it was Darren's first time to do comedy in 3 years. And after the show, I sat down, I was talking to him, and Enya got off stage, and I remember hearing him before, and I was like, where did I hear it before? And as you remember well from the earlier show, not the earlier show, one of the earlier episodes in the podcast, I was talking about the second time I ever performed in Dublin, and I said that it went horribly. Nobody laughed. So I think one person laughed at one joke that I had reworded, and that was the only thing I got out of that set. And then I recognized that Enma went on before me. And then Darren said, do you not remember that night I hosted that open mic? I said, what? He goes, I'd read it here as well. And I had to kind of really think back, and I'm like, I couldn't remember him at all that night. And then when I went home later on this week, and I was like, yes, I do fucking remember now. And it was just, because that was such a long time ago. That was, that was 2 years ago. I started in the summer of 2019. It's coming up to nearly 2.5 years at this stage. It's crazy, so yeah, it was really funny. One nice compliment Anna did give me was that she said, after I finished talking with Darren, she came down, we were talking as well, and she said, she's like, I said, oh, I'm Alex, I'm a comic as well. She's like, oh, I was kind of thinking you might be. She said, but for a comic, you're really nice that you laughed at the joke. I said, look, I mean, I laughed because you were funny. Everyone was funny. I said, I enjoy performing comedy, I enjoy watching it. I mean, people who, because said some comics will be like, oh, I can do that joke better. But, that's an asshole thing, really. I mean, Joey Diaz always talked about this, how he used to go down and listen to open micers at the Improv, to kind of learn from them and see where they're going, kind of give them bits of advice here and there. But it's really, it's great to do that, So the headliner of the night, Donald, my God, I have never in my life been to a comedy show to have seen a comedian of that caliber ever. His cadence, his deliverance, his rhythm, he was doing bits with the crowd, he was getting laughing straight away back into his stuff. It was like this. It was really, really well thought out, well structured. I mean, I was very, very impressed. It was, and his jokes are just very hard hitting. It's probably the most I'd laughed anyone at anyone at a comedy show in a long time. Now, I will be at another comedy show this Sunday. No, not this Sunday today, because this will be released today. But yeah, the good news is, by the way, actually, that I was talking to Inma, and he said that the Battle Axe is now run by a guy called John, that They don't do it as frequently, so when I said it wasn't going to come back until after COVID, now it seems that it's run by a different person. So I'll have to do a bit of digging around and a bit of research to see what it'll be back on. But I would really love to do that venue again, because I mean it's for me to come back there. But from what I've learned since it's been closed and stuff, and the open mics and the 2 shows I've done, I'm really looking forward to now. 2 comedy clubs now have my footage of the show as well. I will release a short clip of my stand-up, because if I don't feel like releasing the whole clip, because it's just, I don't know, it was an okay performance. I'll release a short clip just to give you a bit of a taste. But that's that anyway. I will be back next week with another episode. I'm not sure when the big guest episode, the 50th, will come out. I might have to push it back. Like I said, it might have to be the 51st. I don't know, 52nd. But we'll see if we can schedule, because I have to, 2 of my friends, they don't live close to me, so they'll have to come down, and we'll have to schedule everyone's time and stuff. People are still doing exams, and one of my friends works in academia, so it's a bit strange right now. It's a lot of organising, planning and stuff like that, so we'll have to see. But in the meantime, enjoy this week's podcast, enjoy all the festivities leading up to Christmas, and I shall see you all next week. Bye.